Hi everybody, welcome to our kitchen. Today we are making the perfect cheesecake, and that's because last night I tried to make this perfect strawberry cake for Mother's Day and it did not turn out. So we're going to make a cheesecake. We're going to get started here. I've already done our matzo platzi. We've got our graham cracker crumbs, we've got our sugar, brown sugar, everything to make our perfect cheesecake. So let's get to it. Okay, so what we're gonna use is 170 grams of the graham cracker crumbs. That's about 1.5 cups. So we're gonna pour that in our bowl, and we're gonna add to it the 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we're gonna add a tablespoon of the brown sugar. And we're gonna just mix that together with a fork. Just get that all in there, nice and mixed together. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 7 tablespoons of butter. We're going to take our springform pan here, and we're going to pour this in here, and we're going to press it down into the pan just to make sure that we have a nice base crust for our perfect cheesecake. And by the way, our perfect cheesecake comes from Sugar Spun Run. We're going to go up the side of the pan a little bit. Now that looks pretty good. When you're satisfied with that, just set that aside. All right, so we have our graham cracker crust on the side here. Everything went really well. So now we're gonna actually start the cheesecake part. So we're gonna take 32 ounces of the cream cheese and pour it into the bowl. And by the way, when you use the cream cheese and eggs that we're gonna use in a little bit, the best method is to use them at room temperature. And we're gonna add our sugar to it, and we're going to stir this together until it's smooth and creamy. All right, so we've got our batter nice and creamy and smooth, and now we're going to add the sour cream. We're going to use 2/3 of a cup of sour cream, and we're also going to use 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. This vanilla extract we made right here on our own, which is amazing. And now we can kind of pick up the hand mixer. We'll start out on low. We're gonna just get this in there till it's nice and creamy. And we're not gonna overdo it because we don't want too much air to go in there, but we just want this to come together and combine. And we're gonna add our eggs one at a time. We have 4 eggs, and again, they're at room temperature. So we're just gonna do this one at a time. And we're just gonna get that in there and incorporate it. I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit, but we're not going to be too much. And we're not going to go too much, just a little bit to incorporate it. This is looking really good, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the batter and we're going to pour it into the springform pan. Just going to kind of smooth the batter out, all even, and then we can kind of shake it. Just kind of make sure it's going to set okay. And that's looking pretty good actually. So we're gonna just do that one more time. All right, if you wanna follow me over here, we're gonna put this onto a foil lined cookie sheet. And that way we can prevent any spillage or anything that might come out during the baking process. All right, now we're going to put this in the oven for about 50 minutes, which is definitely eating into our 2-hour time frame. But that's okay because we're gonna use that extra hour to cool. And in the meantime, we're gonna make a raspberry compote. And this is just super simple. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a raspberry compote this time, but you can use anything that you have in the freezer, any kind of fruit. So what I did was I put 2 tablespoons of water in the saucepan, and I then added our raspberries. We're doing a raspberry compote for the cheesecake. I did reserve a couple of raspberries so that we can put these on top of the cheesecake once we're done. But then there were 2 tablespoons of sugar and a tablespoon of lemon juice. And we're gonna bring this to a boil and see how the raspberries in there are breaking down already as this is heating up. So that's just exactly what we want. We're gonna bring this to a boil. And once it's boiling, we're going to reduce the heat and we're gonna let that simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Just about done before I pull it off the stove, and here's a telltale sign that it's doing exactly what we want. When we put the spatula down the middle of the saucepan, you can see how the residual, when I push away the seeds, see that gel forming right there? So I'll pull this off and I will just let it cool on the stove for a little bit before I pour it into the mason jar. We just pulled this out of the oven, and as you can see, there is a little bit of cracking that's going on, but overall the texture and the color looks amazing. So as this starts to cool, it'll deflate just a little bit, so maybe those cracks will kind of go away.